Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, first of all, shout out to Zarpsy for my new intro. His information will be in the description of the video. He made my new intro out of the kindness of his heart, so shout out to him. Goku has become a legend in the demon realm. That is the topic of today's video, and we have a lot to talk about. This video is actually probably going to blow your mind, so let's just get straight into it. So, it's very clear at this point that Goku has had a huge impact on the demon realm. In fact, you could say the impact that Goku has had on the demon realm is very reminiscent of the effect that he has had on characters in the past. And if you've watched my latest two videos, I've been talking a lot about Taoist internal alchemy and the origin of the concept of chi or ki. Now, if you'll remember, one of the things I said about chi is that it is the energy that makes up the fabric of the universe itself. Now, if you'll remember, after Goku passes the test of Tamagami 3, as he's leaving, the series again makes a comparison between magic and chi, and that is not done by accident. And this is due to the fact that chi is the energy source of magic. It's just cultivated selflessly through the practice of Taoist internal alchemy or spiritual cultivation. It is the energy source of magic itself. Another thing I've talked about in my previous videos is that the difference between the mortal realm and the demon realm is the fact that the deities in the mortal realm practice martial arts exactly like Goku, which is essentially Taoist internal alchemy or spiritual development in disguise. In fact, we see Goku use some of his training and some of the spiritual development that he's been through under Popo and Kami to pass the test of Tamagami 3. Now, as I stated in my previous video, the tests that the Tamagami put Goku through are a direct reference to the trials on Namek, where they test the users to see whether or not they are pure of heart. In fact, the reason Goku was so relevant on Namek was the fact that he went through that same test underneath Kami on Earth and passed, and made his way all the way to planet Namek to take the place of the Namekian that the Namekians were waiting for to save them from danger had it ever occurred. Goku, as the legendary Super Saiyan, went through the same test the Namekians themselves go through to test whether or not a being is pure of heart on Earth, made his way to Namek, helped save the Namekians, and helped ensure the rebirth of planet Namek. So Goku is already a legend outside of the demon realm. He is the legendary Super Saiyan, the savior of the Namekians, who we just learned came from the demon realm. Now, I've also already established why it's important for somebody with a pure heart to use the Dragon Balls, because selfish wishes lead to doom, and selfless wishes lead to hope for the future. This is due to the Dragon Ball's connection to magic, and the concept of black and white magic, which is associated with selflessness and selfishness. Now, remember that I said that the universe itself is composed of chi, which is the substance that Goku uses as his power source and cultivates through spiritual cultivation and Taoist internal alchemy. Now, this is something I want you to consider. Now, when Goku influences those around him, he also causes them to build up their chi through Taoist internal alchemy and spiritual development. Now, when Goku makes a wish on the Dragon Balls, it always encourages everyone around him to be more selfless and to be more like him. Now, one of the factors that separates lower dimensions from higher dimensions in Dragon Ball is the existence of chi. Remember, the demon realm did not know what chi was. They do not cultivate it at all. The mortal realm has started to cultivate it, and they are sort of treated as the middle ground between the demon realm and the realm that Zeno and the angels and all of these other godly-like beings reside that have cultivated their chi to godly levels. So essentially, Goku, in combination with the Dragon Balls, has the potential to raise the mortal level of any area that he resides in, and has the honor of going through the test of attaining the Dragon Balls and using them for a selfless cause. And that is very likely what is going to happen in Dragon Ball Daima to the demon realm. Think of the demon realm as one of the many enemies that Goku has faced in the past. By the time Goku is done with the demon realm, much like characters like Piccolo and many others, they will all be more encouraged to spiritually cultivate themselves and learn about the concept of chi. That's why when we see Tamagami 3 practicing using the Kamehameha, that is essentially the series' cheeky and sneaky way of acknowledging what the series' actual intentions are. Remember, the universe is composed of chi, and when Goku encourages characters around him to cultivate themselves and build up their chi, the universe benefits from that, and becomes, in its own way, very similar to the many characters that Goku has had an impact on by gaining access to more overall chi. Goku spiritually cultivates the entire universe. So Goku becoming a legend in the demon realm will inevitably lead to mortal development within the demon realm. Very similar to what happened at the end of the Tournament of Power. Now, Dragon Ball has done a great job disguising how much this is verbatim the plot to Journey to the West. Let me just break it down for you real quick. Sun Wukong was a stone monkey born in a stone egg that was zapped with yin and yang energy, or chi, which is also how the universe itself was created in Chinese mythology and within the story, so Dragon Ball is also being consistent with that. He ended up going through a process of spiritual development and gaining chi, which he used as a superpower to face the gods and nearly dethrone the deities of heaven, after falling victim to his primal instincts and his nature as a demon. He tried to take over the heavens themselves, very similar to how the Saiyans tried to take over everything around them in space. Afterwards, he goes through an ego death, exactly like Goku whenever Goku lost his original identity as Kakarot. He goes through even more spiritual development as a Buddhist martial artist, and eventually he balances his nature as a demon with the nurturing impact of his journey as a Buddhist martial artist to become the victorious fighting Buddha, a Buddha who can use violence with pure intentions. That is why Sun Wukong is considered basically the pinnacle of all Buddhist martial arts teachings, is because he represents the idea of using violence with pure intentions. That's why all this symbolism with Goku transforming into a Super Saiyan, busting out of a mountain, holding the Nyoibo, it's not done by accident. It's very purposely done to reference what exactly the story is playing on in its own unique and subtle way. And that's what makes Dragon Ball good, is the fact that it's subtle about all these things rather than spelling it out to you. Now, after Sun Wukong became the victorious fighting Buddha, whenever he came into contact with a demon, it could go quite a few different ways. But one of the things he would do is, if a demon was not worth saving, if they were essentially irredeemable in the lifetime that he was facing them in, because as a Buddha, he was aware of the cycle of life and death, he would essentially put these creatures through the cycle of reincarnation, purifying them in the process. He would also, in some cases, purify them in life. The demons that he traveled with on the Journey to the West were purified by his presence. So when Tamagami 3 talks about how he likes Goku because he's a fair fighter, that's because of his pure heart. That's essentially the series pointing out that since Goku is practicing the principles of Buddhist martial arts, which is what Sun Wukong practiced as the victorious fighting Buddha, that he essentially has the approval of Tamagami 3 due to the fact that if he uses the Dragon Balls, he's not going to use them for selfish purposes and foster doom in the universe. Now, speaking of Buddhist monks, there is a item known as the Chintamani Stone, which is what the Dragon Ball is based on, and this item was possessed by Buddhist monks who would take it from village to village, and due to their nature as a Buddha, they were capable of using these orbs to perform miracles and purify villages that they would travel to together. And this would, of course, encourage the village to also practice Buddhist principles. And this was their way of essentially spiritually developing every village that they went to. There would be a martial monk and a religious monk, which is what Sun Wukong and Tripitaka are, which, fun fact, the staff that Goku and Sun Wukong use is the same staff that was used by martial monks. That's what that's actually referencing. But they would go to villages with the Chintamani Stone. They would use it selflessly. That would encourage the local towns to also act selflessly, and therefore they would slowly but surely spiritually cultivate every village that they visited. Now, these Buddhist monks were implementing what is known as Taoist external alchemy. I've talked a lot about Taoist internal alchemy. This is Taoist external alchemy. The Chintamani Stone is very similar to the Philosopher's Stone, which is known in the West to turn regular metals into gold. It's very similar symbolically in terms of like a purifying process. Now, speaking of purifying process, another really interesting thing to consider is the fact that the Dragon Balls were originally a replacement for the Buddha Sutras in Journey to the West, due to Toriyama originally going to make Dragon Ball exactly like Journey to the West and then changing things up. But essentially the goal of the Buddha Sutras and the Journey to the West was to purify the entire world the same way that the Chintamani Stone would be used to purify individual villages. So it was like the ultimate Chintamani Stone in some sense. So Goku becoming a legend in the demon realm is essentially going to have this effect perpetuate the entire demon realm. And what we're going to see, how that's going to impact the series, is we're going to see more powerful figures pop up later on in the series due to the effect that Goku has on the demon realm. Very similar again to what he did with everybody in the Tournament of Power. They're all going to come back stronger due to the effect that Goku had on them. So if you're more of a fan of the, typical shonen combat-based aspects of Dragon Ball, you definitely have that to look forward to after Daima. In fact, that could be why Dragon Ball Daima takes place before Dragon Ball Super, to give the series time in between this point in Dragon Ball Daima and where we are at in Dragon Ball Super for beings to develop within the demon realm. That'll be a cool future challenge for Goku. And honestly, if that's how things go, I think that's a genius idea. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope this video enhanced your enjoyment of Dragon Ball as a whole. That really is the goal of my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really, really helps out, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys so much if you stuck around for this long. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.